Plaintiff Selena Miller says she's known the defendant since high school, and she claims the defendant is drunk more often than not. Selena says she even had a drink with the defendant the day she got out of rehab to celebrate her sobriety. And she's suing her today for a bail bond, grocery money, and carpet cleaning. Defendant Michelle Whipple says Selena has some nerve talking about her because Selena smokes pot and drinks in front of her son and doesn't even know who his father is. Michelle claims she only drinks on the weekends, not as often as Selena makes it sound. And she insists Selena never paid to bail her out of jail.
Tell me how she owes you.
Well, I've known Michelle Whipple since I was in high school, and I've known her sons for longer. And I consider them to be like my brothers, and I did consider her to be like another mother to me. And she's always been a drinker, and I've known her to be sober, but mainly drunk.
You saying she's drunk more than she is sober?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Back in 2008, she had went out with a friend of hers, and they did go out and get drunk, and they got pulled over on their way home, and her friend was asked to step out of the car, and Michelle had gotten into the driver's seat and had moved about 2 feet before the cops had gotten her out of the car. They did arrest her, and I'm guessing they charged her with a DUI. I'm not sure. I wasn't there.
What other times have you seen her drunk? Just about every time you've seen her?
Pretty much.
What's her drink?
Pretty much vodka and Coke.
Vodka, man? That's your drink?
Yeah, that's my drink when I do it occasionally. But it's not every day, like she's saying.
How often?
Maybe once a week.
Please. I mean, I don't mean to doubt you, but
on weekends,
that's a big difference.
On weekends.
All right.
But can I say something?
Give me some background.
She has a little boy that she smokes pot in front of, and she drinks in front of. Her house is a terrible mess. Dirty diapers
That is
and
not
bottles
true. I clean her house every day.
When you use her bathroom, you don't put the toilet paper in the toilet. You put it in the waste paper basket.
That's enough.
Well, I lived there for a week, and that's what I had to do.
If it was like that, I'd have stayed drunk too. You're right. Ma'am, is this true? She says you drink and smoke weed around your child.
And that's the truth.
And you're nasty.
Your Honor.
Are you nasty like that?
No, Your Honor. No.
Oh, okay.
No, Your Honor. I do not. And I, in the past, have had my problems, but I have
problems with being clean?
No, I went to rehab, and I got off the drugs.
For weed?
It was more than that.
Oh, okay.
But I made that commitment. I went to rehab. I got better. And I even went back to school, and I got my GED, and I went to college for a while.
For a couple of weeks.
She said for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, she didn't
No, Your
make
Honor,
it.
I was there for 6 months. I was a very happy
She
student.
don't make it very long. Came, keep a job. Her mom's and that's how she became one, because, yeah, I'm saying the truth.
Those are fighting words, man.
Your Honor, I don't think that my mom is relevant to this case.
She don't even know who their kid's daddy is. She needs to go on Maury to find out who the kid's daddy is.
And my son is not part of this case either.
Well,
and you need to keep my son and my mother out of this, because this is between us.
All right, let me allow her to tell me about this bail money and the grocery monies.
Your Honor, after she had gotten pulled over and everything, her family had told her that if she did not get better, go to rehab, that they were going to disown her. They didn't want nothing to do with her. And she did not want to go to rehab, but she did. And after a couple of months, she came back. And the same day that she actually got out of rehab, she called me, and I went over there, and we drank together.
Why would you do that? If you know the woman just came out of rehab for drinking, why would you do that?
We were celebrating,
Call over and have a drink to celebrate coming out of rehab for drinking.
That was exactly how she put it.
You went to rehab for alcohol and then came out and got drunk on the first day?
Not on the first day, no.
Not on the first day. How many days?
I don't know. A week, probably.
Go ahead.
On March 19th, 2009, I had went over to her house, and we were having pretty much like a little girl's night in. And she did have a roommate, and we respected him, and he pretty much had full run of the house. We just had a little part in the back. And at one point I did have to use the restroom, so I went, and when I came back, her and her roommate were talking. So I didn't want to bother them or anything, so I waited for a minute, and then I did watch him punch her, and I watched her shove him off of her. And that's when I stepped in, and I went up to his face, and I told him that you cannot be pushing women like that. You cannot be hitting them or anything, and he got in my face, and I asked him if he needed me to call the police and have them tell him that he cannot hit women like that. And he told me that he could do whatever he wanted to. This was his house, and he was going to call the police for me. So I called the police, and while I had the police on the phone, her and her roommate continued to argue, and the police officer didn't want to hear it, and he hung up on me. And before you know it, there's a couple squad cars outside. And I knew she had a warrant.
Okay, so she was arrested on a warrant. Did
Yes.
they interrogate or arrest the gentleman?
No, they did not.
Not a gentleman, the man,
No, they did not, Your
a
Honor.
wannabe man, if he
They
was
should
doing
have.
the beating.
They should have, I agree. But they did not.
And what happened? How did she come to owe you? You bailed her out, obviously?
I did, Your
How
Honor.
much?
It was $220.
Did she ask you to?
She did, Your Honor. She
And did
begged
she
me
agree to
to.
repay you?
I never asked her
did.
for a
When did
dime.
she say she would repay you? That was March of 09. When did
Yes.
she say she would give it back?
She told me that she would pay me back as soon as she got her check from the government.
Has she gotten her check from
Yes,
the
she
government?
did, Your Honor.
How do you know?
I brought it to her. She was sitting in my house on my chair when I gave her
Let me
the
hear
mail.
your side, ma'am.
That is not true.
Tell me what
we never
is true.
signed no papers saying anything about me paying.
She didn't
Back
say you
nothing.
signed papers. She said that you agreed to pay her when your check came. Your check came, she delivered it to you, and you failed to pay. Did she pay to get you out?
I don't know. No, she never paid.
You don't know how you got
She
out?
never paid me to get out. She
You
don't
don't
have a
know
job.
how you got out?
Yeah, by her mom paying, but she never paid.
Ma'am, was it you or your mother?
It was me, Your Honor. I was there.
liar.
I even drove her home from the.
Did
from
she
the
drive you
Logan.
home?
Yeah, but she got the money from her mom. She
How do you
don't-
know?
Because she told me.
Her mother might have loaned it to her. And at that point, it became hers. And when she bailed you out with her money, even if her mother had given it to her or loaned it to her. So why don't you think you should pay her, ma'am?
I feel, because I never called her when I was in jail.
All right, fine, but you walked out that door when she paid.
Yeah, I walked out the
Well,
door.
then you didn't stay in jail, so
I
you
stayed in jail for 7 hours.
you didn't stay after she paid the money.
No, I didn't.
So why don't you think you should pay?
Because I didn't sign no papers proving
I
that
didn't
I
ask
did.
you that. Did you believe at that time it was a loan or a gift?
I thought it was a gift
What made you think so?
because we were friends.
How about the groceries? Why are you suing her for groceries and
For a
carpet
week
cleaning?
worth?
She stayed at my house for 14 days, and then she left for out of state to go see one of her sons. And while she was gone, we did keep in contact over the phone. When she did come back, she, like I said, got her check, and her, I'm not sure if it's her husband or ex-husband, but anyway, took her to go cash it. And we were, both me and my mom, were expecting her to come back and, at least give us $220
What
because
did
we
she
told,
say?
she said, I'm going to go cash my check. I'll be back.
Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
And did you come back?
I went back there.
Did
and
you
I
give
offered
them
to
some of the money?
I offered to give her $100 and they wouldn't take it.
Whenever you offer someone money in repayment for something that they did for you, that means you believe that you owed them, ma'am. $320 for the plaintiff. You're ordered to have analysis for alcoholism, and if you're found to have relapsed into alcoholism, I'm ordering that you obtain treatment as they deem necessary, okay? Have a good day.
I just think it's not right that she doesn't know who the father is, and doing drugs and everything in front of the baby is wrong.
I love my son, and I know I love my son, and he doesn't need a father. I'm everything that boy needs.